Hello, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Today I'm trying out the new variation of Landfall in Standard Best of 1. This deck has been growing in popularity over the last couple of weeks, putting up some good tournament results, and in fact, just last week on the Spikes subreddit, somebody posted a very in-depth analysis of this archetype and some of the different variations that people are trying out with it. In that post, they say that the archetype isn't quite figured out yet and there's a lot of room to grow. I'm going to be trying out this mono green version of the deck. Before I talk a little bit about the deck, help the channel grow a little bit. If you haven't subbed up, sub up, like the video, and of course leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Landfall and specifically this new version of Landfall. So the first thing you're going to notice is that there is no Tifa and there is no Hydra in this deck. Instead, we are playing the Mightform Harmonizer. Essentially what we're doing is we're turning all of our creatures into Tifas. This thing is a 4 CMC 4/4. It can be warped in for 3. It says Landfall, whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, double the power of target creature you control until the end of turn. So essentially, we're going to put this out on the field with a couple of creatures on the field, start playing out a whole bunch of lands, double them up, and attacking with a huge creature. That is at least the plan. So how are we going to be putting a whole bunch of lands on the field? Well, we have 3 different ways of doing that. We are playing Icetill Explorer. This lets us play an additional land per turn. We also may play lands from our graveyard. So if we put an escape tunnel or a Fable Passage into the graveyard, we're going to be able to put it out with the Icetill Explorer twice, crack it twice, and get 4 land drops just in one turn with an Icetill Explorer on the field. We can also play Earthbender Ascension. This card has impressed me so much. I absolutely love this thing. When it enters, we get to Earthbend 2. Then we get to search our library for a basic land card, put it on the field, tapped. Nice and simple. But if we have put 4 lands onto the field, we put 4 counters on the Earthbender's Ascension, then whenever a land enters the battlefield, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature we control, and most importantly, that creature gains trample until the end of turn. It's not hard to get 4 quest counters onto the Ascension when you're playing this deck. In fact, it happens very, very fast. And then we get to attack in with some big creatures that might be doubling thanks to the Mightform Harmonizer, or just might be getting big because of the Ascension all on its own. And when these things have trample, things get out of control very fast. We're also playing 4 copies of the Lumbering Worldwagon. This thing puts a land into the battlefield whenever it enters or when it attacks. So we're going to be putting a lot of lands onto the field. Then its power is equal to the number of lands that we control. It's not uncommon for the Lumbering Worldwagon to have 6 or 7 base power. Then it is crew 4. We can crew it with our Mightform Harmonizer. That's pretty sweet. And then we can swing in with a pretty powerful Worldwagon that continues to ramp us, continues to trigger the Earthbender's Ascension, can be doubled, can do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Then the rest of the deck is kind of supporting that game plan of the landfall, triggering all these things and doubling their power. We're playing Esper Origins because it's just a great card. It's going to give us a lot of value, a little bit of life, a little bit of surveil. Then it can also ramp us on Chapter 2 if we have the Esper Mondun on the field. Badgermole Cub, you know the deal with this. Llyanowar Elf, you know the deal with this. Paw Patch Recruit is something that I personally added to the deck. It's another trample creature that we can be doubling or loading up with +1/+1 counters, and it also starts putting +1/+1 counters on our stuff if our opponents are trying to spot remove our stuff. Shaz's Chocobo also fits perfectly into this deck because it's going to be benefiting from the landfall triggers that we're going to be getting with the Icetill Explorer, and then it's going to be a very powerful little creature if it has a whole bunch of +1/+1 counters on it. We give it trample from the Earthbender's Ascension, maybe double its power once. This thing gets out of control very quickly. And then a little bit of protection in the form of Snakeskin Veil. Over in the lands, the only land to really mention that I haven't mentioned yet is Ba Sing Se. This thing is sweet. The activated ability, Earthbend 2, activate only as a sorcery, is very powerful in situations where maybe the opponent wipes the board. We have a bunch of lands on the field. We can still start attacking in with the Earthbent land that we do from the Ba Sing Se, and it essentially has haste if you put it on a land that entered the battlefield on a previous turn. So that is the deck. It is very fun, very powerful, and like I said in the intro at the start, it's still being figured out. So expect this list to evolve over time, to incorporate other colors into it, and really start to pop off because my early results with this list have been very impressive. We're going to hop into some games and see if it can continue to be impressive. See you over there. Okay, we're against 2-turn kill. we are thankfully playing a one-turn kill deck. So hopefully we can take them out before they have their chance. Now this hand, a little bit risky because we need a third land, but I am going to keep it because I think Saz's Chocobo on turn 1 and turn 2 with the escape tunnel is going to give us pretty good attackers, and we're playing a lot of lands, 24 lands in the deck. I assume that we're probably going to be able to find a third land, right? You never miss your third land. Whoops. Okay, so I could... No, I can't do the Esper Origins because we actually only technically have 1 mana. So we are going to go the original plan, Shaz's Chocobo, crack the escape tunnel, put another forest onto the field, and then pray that we hit a third land. Now, if we hit the third land, we're going to go out with the Earthbender's Ascension. That's going to find our 4th land, and then we're going to be in really good shape. We are also against mono green, presumably, and they are ramping with their Badgermole Cub. Oh, we did it. We did it. We're so good at this game. So it is Earthbender's Ascension. We grab another land. We Earthbend this land. And next turn, things could get out of control very quickly. We are attacking in for 8 already. Very aggressive start with the Shaz's Chocobos on turn 1 and 2. And let's see what 2-turn kill can do with a lot of mana. Up to 4 potential mana this turn. Maybe even more if they have a second Badgermole Cub. They have the Orboride. Okay, that is scary. So, what do we need off the top? You know what we need? We need a... I don't know what we need. We need a lot of things. So, the best way to go about this, if we play out the Mightform Harmonizer, we don't get any landfall triggers. We needed a land there. If we had drawn a land, maybe we could have done things a little bit differently. Instead, we kind of whiffed. I'm definitely going to be attacking in with the Chocobos. They're going to have to put the Badgermole Cub in front of one of them because they will be a lethal attack. So do I want to go Lumbering Worldwagon into Earthbender's Ascension or the other way around? I'm sorry, opponent. I think it doesn't... No, this is maybe a little bit more interesting. Okay, so we're going to Earthbend this. And now we have a 4/4 and 2 5/6s attacking. They still only have to block one of them. So they're going to put the Badgermole Cub in front of one of the Shaz's Chocobos. If I attack with the forest, is there any point to it, and does this backfire? I think I need to save it back for a blocker, just in case. I'm not sure if it was supposed to be the Lumbering Worldwagon or the Earthbender's Ascension here, now that I'm kind of looking at things. But this is going to cut them off from a lot of mana. They're only going to have 3 or 4 mana next turn. Sure, they're going to have an Ouroboride, but it's not going to get up enough to be able to kill us. Probably? How many times have you said that about an Ouroboride? There's no way this Ouroboride can kill me this turn, and then they like pump it, and then it puts an infinite amount of counters on all of their stuff and slam you. Okay, that's not going to be good enough. So now what we need a land off the top so badly. That's not a land, but it is a land. So this is where things get a little bit crazy. We get our Earthbender Ascensions up to 4 counters. Like I said in the intro, it's not hard to get the Earthbender's Ascension up to 4. And we are going to be putting trample and +1/+1 counters onto our thing. So our Shaz's Chocobo up to 8/9 with trample. We get to do it all again. We're going to pump everything that we have here. And this is why I love this deck. It just has a little bit more flexibility than like the Tifa all-in strategy on the Hydra and on the Tifa. Look at how much power, just because we drew the Icetill Explorer. Icetill Explorer is such an insane card. And now we're attacking in for 27 trample against Mr. Turn 2 kill. Okay, neither of us had the turn 2 kill, but that's pretty good, and I had fun. I just noticed that my quest for today is the 40 lands quest. This is a pretty good deck to be playing when you're trying to get 40 lands on the field. Okay, it's a little bit slow, but I think we're maybe in an okay spot. I don't know how I'm going to put out... Now with the Mightform Harmonizer, does that change the way I'm thinking about things? I think it does. So we're going to put out the Lllanowar Elf. and try to ramp into the Lumbering Worldwagon. Before I drew this card, I was kind of thinking maybe I should go out with the Chocobo first and start getting +1/+1 counters on it. But I think probably it's always going to be Llyanowar Elf on turn 1. Turn 3, you get out your Lumbering Worldwagon and ramp a little bit. Ooh. Now, Earthbender's Ascension. You know what? If they have the Shelter by Ghost, I think I would prefer they eat my Lumbering Worldwagon. Maybe? Let's see. We are against the Mono White Auras deck, the deck that always caused me a lot of trouble. There's the Shelter by Ghost. Now, unlike in other matchups where I'm able to kill the Aerialist or whatever before the Shelter by Ghost hits the field, this time around we are in a little bit of trouble, and we actually got a little bit of a clock on us. It's not unrealistic for this deck to be able to kill me in a turn or two. Now, we do have a lot of mana because we drew this Badgermole Cub, and I think we're going to try to take full advantage of this. We have 5 mana available to us. So that means we are going to put out the Chocobo. We're also going to put out the Earthbender's Ascension this turn. And then next turn, we're going to try to kill them with the Harmonizer, I think. And we can hold up the Snakeskin Veil to try to protect ourselves. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there. Obviously, we need lands, and this Harmonizer is not going to be good enough. In fact, I think we're probably just toast in this matchup. I don't know if I misplayed this somehow. Was it actually putting the Harmonizer on the field? You know what I actually think now is when I said I'd rather them take the Lumbering Worldwagon than the Earthbender's Ascension. Now that I'm thinking about that, I think I would have preferred them to take the Earthbender's Ascension instead of the Lumbering Worldwagon. It would have been a lot better attacker on this turn. So we need, I don't know. I don't think there's anything that I could possibly draw here. That's good, but it's not good enough, is it? So I can put this onto the field. They have 36 life. We're dead. We're so dead. Does it matter if I put it out for 3 or for 4? No. So from here, I can double some stuff, but I am going to get trample with this on the Shaz's Chocobo. So I can do quite a bit of damage, but it's just not quite enough damage, is it? So we can do it. We can do it for fun. Let's see how big we can make our Chocobo. It's going to get pretty sizable, but just not quite enough. Man, the Icetill Explorer really unlocks things, doesn't it? That's 20. 20 damage. Would have been good had the opponent not gained a whole bunch of life and had taken our Lumbering Worldwagon. It's really interesting. If we had the Lumbering Worldwagon on the field, it would have been 6 power, and then I could have been putting +1/+1 counter, at least 1+1/+1 counter on it, and then doubling. So it would have gone to 12, and then 13, 26. I think it's still not quite enough. So unfortunate. I think they were on the play. They had a little bit of extra time, and they had double ethereal armor. Hard to compete with that. Game number 3 against Free Lunch. This time, let's be on the play. And okay, we get to go first. And you know what? This is a good looking hand. So turn 1 Llyanowar Elf into our Ascension, and then hopefully pop off. The Icetill Explorer with the escape tunnels really going to make things fantastic. Maybe we are against the mono white strategy once again, and in this case we gotta hope and pray that they do not have Shelter by Ghost. This matchup always comes down to, do they have Shelter by Ghost? I don't know. I actually don't know which one to animate here. I don't know if it matters. Whatever. Okay, Earthbender's Ascension up to 1. We'll get 2 more on it next turn, and if they don't, actually we can get it all the way up to 4 if they don't have the Shelter by Ghost and if they don't touch our Llyanowar Elf. Wonderweave Aerialist. Okay. Don't care. So, if I put out the Ba Sing Se, I can have a creature that attacks this turn. If I go out with the Escape Tunnel, I don't have an attacking creature this turn. Do I want to go a little bit slower? I think I do. So here's what we're going to do. Shaz's Chocobo. Ba Sing Se onto the field. Then we play out our Icetill Explorer, and I guess we can, yeah, we go out with the escape tunnel. I forgot that I could put out the escape tunnel as well, but we cannot attack in with anything this turn. So we're gonna wait one more turn, again, hoping to dodge the Shelter by Ghost every time. But they have a lot of choices. They take the Icetill Explorer, they snap take the Icetill Explorer, which is maybe not the worst thing for us because we do have the Esper Origins that we can actually play out both the original and the follow-up one here. We're gonna crack the escape tunnel, and they're stuck at 2 lands though. That's something to note. And now our Earthbender's Ascension is up to 4. We're gonna load up this Chocobo. And we don't hit the land, but we do kind of hit a land. Let's go this way first. Esper Origins. Okay. I messed up. I messed up with that because now I'm going to have to make a choice. Do I want to fetch with the Lumbering Worldwagon, or do I want to leave the Icetill Explorer on top? The Icetill Explorer on top means that I can draw it if I put out the Esper Origins backside. Do we want to go a little bit slow? Okay. I think the Icetill Explorer is actually maybe a little bit more valuable than I'm giving it credit. I don't want the Paw Patch. I should have put that on the bottom. I knew I wasn't going to take that. So we'll grab the Icetill Explorer. And we get to attack in for 4. Why not? Keep them a little bit lower. We gained a little bit of life from the... Oh, what's going on here? By the way, I bought this art because I absolutely love Esper Origins, one of my favorite cards from the Final Fantasy set, but oh, it's all glitched out. Come on, Wizards. Be better. Lightstall Inquisitor. Good. I think it's okay for me to put the Icetill Explorer into the side here. And what this probably means is they don't have another Shelter by Ghost, so we might be okay here. We are actually gaining a ton of mana next turn. We're going to gain an extra 2 mana from the Esper Monduin. So we get to just do everything. This Shaz's Chocobo is going to be huge. Huge, I tell you. How big do I want to attack? Do I want to attack with everything? Okay, well, let's put 1 trample on at least everything. Okay, yeah. I love it. It's so fun. Oh man, Icetill Explorer. What a card. I am also going to be putting the Lumbering Worldwagon onto the field. I'm going to have to tap my Llyanowar Elf to do that. So we'll put 1 more counter onto the forest so it can attack in. It's going to get 1 more counter. So Lumbering Worldwagon now comes in using the Llyanowar Elf, and they're done. How much were we attacking with on that turn? A little bit of shame that the opponent was stuck on 2 mana, but they did have the Shelter by Ghost. This turn we were going to get another counter here, so that was going to be 9, 14, plus another 4 here. 18 points of trample damage. Kind of out of nowhere again. On a little side note, I'm kind of curious. This week's midweek magic was the Omniscience draft. If you did the Omniscience draft, I would love to know how it went for you. If it was frustrating, if it was fun. I'm very, very curious. This hand, I think we're going to try it. Our mana is not great, but what we can do is put out Fable Passage on turn 1, go get a Forest, then turn 2, Ba Sing Se into the Badgermole Cub, and then we'll be cooking a little bit. If we had drawn, it didn't matter. Even if we drew a Forest there, it wouldn't have changed things. I think we would have done the Fable Passage no matter what. So that onto the field. We have our Esper Origins to maybe help us dig into the future against... So we're against Dimir. Since we're against Dimir, I don't really want to run out my Badgermole Cub. I think I'd rather run out an Esper Origin and try to draw into a land and a Badgermole Cub. That's kind of good. Yeah. So next turn, we can go land, Badgermole Cub, save the Snakeskin Veil to protect our Badgermole Cub, and then follow it up with another Badgermole Cub on the following turn. I think that sounds like an okay plan to me. Now, the game wants me to animate my Ba Sing Se. Okay, sure. Let's do that. If they have a counter here, that's going to suck. But, hey, we got to run through their counter spells at some point, right? Hopefully they're just holding up removal for it. No, they did have the Long Rivers Pole. Don't like that. So we're going to have to try to land this second one. This might not be Dimir. This might, well, it's obviously Dimir. It might be a mill deck instead of the regular, what, tempo, rogue, whatever you want to call it, type deck. Nowhere to run, nowhere to run. The one card that's going to get around my poor Snakeskin Veil. And they did it before the land was animated, so I can't even Esper Origin. It would have been nice if they let this turn on, and then I could have tapped this. And they bounce it. Wow, that's rude. Oh, I misplayed. I misplayed. I could have responded, tapped the Ba Sing Se, and then played it out for 2 mana and had enough mana to put out the Esper Origins. Okay, sloppy play. But they are down to 2 cards. We do get the Earthbender's Ascension onto the field. We may as well animate this land and put another one out. So, from here, I kind of hope that... Wow, they're digging. Why do I feel like we're... this is such a weird deck. Is it just a Dimir control? They must be working towards wiping the board and milling us. So we might have to lean into the Earthbend ability here, which makes me think that I want to get these Earthbender's Ascension up to 4 counters as quickly as possible. And then if we just land a Mightform Harmonizer, we can go from there. They keep bouncing our lands, which is not the worst thing for us. Don't get me wrong, it's not great, but it could be a lot worse. The thing is, we are getting our counters on the Earthbender's Ascension. So next turn, potentially, we could have 4 counters on that, and we can start attacking in. What do I want to find? We do have a Fable Passage in the graveyard, so an Icetill Explorer would be absolutely fantastic. The End. They could cast the End on our forest and go get all of our forest. Wouldn't that be devastating? I feel like that would be pretty devastating. Now, we can't really protect our forest from a lot of things. From here, I can ramp with the Esper Origin, pseudo ramp. I could throw the Mightform Harmonizer onto the field. I think I need to find my lands for the following turns, so what I'm going to do is actually go out with the Esper Origins, I think. Let's see if they have the counterspell for it. They have 2 open mana, so they could have another long pull. Divert Disaster this time around. Okay, so they did have counter magic. Sucks. Okay. Earthbender's Ascension. This one going to put a +1/+1 counter onto the forest. Now, do I care for attack? I don't think I care for attacking for 3 damage. I think it's more important for me to do this. This gives me lands that I can trigger my Mightform Harmonizer. I'm going to keep both of them on top, I think. Stock up. That's Desperation stock up. So they're digging. Hopefully they don't find another like Divert Disaster or something. This is just like straight up control. And I think our deck doesn't necessarily do super well against straight control. There is the Mystery. No, that's not the mill land. Okay. If I put this out for its warp, I'm going to save 1 extra mana. Do I care about saving 1 extra mana? No. So let's just put it hard, cast it onto the field. Okay, let's see if this works. They still have potentially removal for our forest. If they have nowhere to run, though, that's not going to be good enough. They need to have... Well, nowhere to run would keep them alive still. Okay. We're loading up this forest. It's potentially lethal. They must have it. Of course they have something, right? They always have removal for it. Consult the star charts. 1 mana open. Do we get... Yes! Oh my god. It feels so good to beat a removal deck. If you're watching my channel, I know you also hate removal deck. When you play against somebody like this, you probably do the same thing. You hit view battlefield and you start looking through their graveyard and you're like, what is this? What is this person playing? What was their win con? They didn't even have a creature land to do damage to me. And when you can get a 1-turn forest kill on them, man, it feels so good, doesn't it? Woo! Oh man, I'm so happy we got to see a forest pop off there. That's all I really wanted to do. Ooh, this time Paw Patch recruits from. So this hand is interesting because we don't have any of our acceleration. We also don't have our doublers or our but we do have a turn 1 Shaz's Chocobo into Esper Origins into an Offspring Paw Patch. That doesn't sound so bad to me. So I think we're going to try it. Now, what does Rakdos mean? Ooh, and look at that draw. This card, isn't this card insane? I'm so impressed with it. Oh, it's not Rakdos. Okay. Okay, let's see. Now, I have a couple choices here. I could go Esper Origin or I could ramp. You know what? Let's just go with the Esper Origin. I think it's fine. So another land and another Icetill Explorer. Icetill Explorer is very good, but I don't have any of my fetch lands. I think I don't want to keep that. But I will keep the forest on the top because we need to find our lands. That's what it's going to come down to. I'm kind of thinking our opponent is probably working towards wiping the board. So I don't really want to put the Paw Patch Recruit onto the field quite yet. Instead, Earthbender's Ascension, we can start building it up. And I think maybe this type of deck might have a hard time getting rid of this. Okay. I'm fine with that. Okay, so Earthbender's Ascension up to 1. We have our forest on the field. Oh, it's a Demonic Pact deck. Okay. So we have to be careful. They are going to have board wipes. They're going to have board wipes. They're going to donate some nasty things to us. Things that are going to make us exile our things or sacrifice our things. Greed's Gambit. So from here, I think I actually want to put the Esper Origin on the field because I need to surveil some good cards. These are good cards. This is what we call good cards. So, Fable Passage, Lumbering Worldwagon is actually going to be pretty huge. And from here, do I want to attack? They chump block here, so there's no way we attack here. So I may as well put the Llyanowar Elf onto the field. If they have Day of Judgment, it's bad news. They don't have 2 white sources. They only have 1 white source. So we might be in okay shape on that note. Enduring Innocence is very interesting in this deck. And a Helping Hand. My opponent, Hyun. I love what you're doing. I love what you got going on over here. Iroh T-Master just played it. Fantastic deck. It's so fun. So here, though, we get to put Icetill Explorer onto the field. We're going to actually be able to slam for quite a bit of damage. Not as much as I would like to if I had a... If only I had the big boy out here too. But we don't have the big boy. Doesn't matter? It doesn't matter the way I do this. Okay, so Fable Passage. We're going to load up... We're going to put one of these counters from the Earthbender's Ascension onto the Esper Monduin. But we're only going to put one of them on it just to give it trample. I don't want to invest too much into the Esper Monduin because it is going to disappear next turn. But I do want to get in for a little bit of damage this turn. And we are still going to go with this. Actually, you know what? I may as well put... I don't think they're going to have the board wipe, right? We're going to go hard. This is so much clicking, though. Okay, second Icetill Explorer onto the field. Why not? This gives us 1 more landfall here. Keep loading up the forest. I think the forest is going to be the hero. Ooh, okay. If only we could play one of those out. I'm not watching what I'm putting in the graveyard. Mightform Harmonizer over there. So we only have 1 more Mightform... what am I saying? We have 3 more Mightform Harmonizers in our deck still. And then from here, I could put out the Lumbering Worldwagon, but we're not doing that. We're definitely going to get in for 11 points of damage. They'll chump block with the 2/2. Do they also block with the Iroh? Uh-oh. So that means they might have a board wipe. So now I'm kind of worried that I should have put out the Lumbering Worldwagon, because Lumbering Worldwagon is just a good card to have on the field after a board wipe, because then it can obviously attack in right away. But you can see Earthbender Ascension getting up to 8 quest counters on it right away. They have the Beseech. I like the Beseech into the Enduring Innocence. Here comes the Wrath of God. It's fine. It's actually not the worst thing for us. We get another Earthbender's Ascension, so yeah. Earthbender's Ascension is essentially like a free Bossing Say. We do that. It just keeps going. You can't stop this train. And then this time I think I am going to put out the Lumbering Worldwagon, because if they end up wiping the board one more time, then I have at least the Esper Origins as the backup plan. I can bring it out and then load up the Lumbering Worldwagon and attack in. This is one of the things that I absolutely love about this deck, is that it feels resilient to board wipes, because you do have stuff sitting in your these can attack, these can attack. They put out the Greed's Gambit, they take some damage. We are going to get trample though, and I don't think they can donate the Greed's Gambit to us this turn, so we should be in pretty good shape here. Oh, okay. I mean, the Helping Hand to donate with the Iroh is so good. The thing is, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter, opponent. I'm so sorry. You are playing a sweet deck, but you're dead. You're dead, opponent. Do we care? Yeah, we may as well grab the permanent. Esper Origins onto the field, and we get to load up the Lumbering Worldwagon, and the Earthbender's Ascension doing the most important thing that it's in this deck to do, giving trample to our Lumbering Worldwagon. How many? I don't know how many lands I have left in my deck. I don't even know if I can go and fetch. Let's do this. Let's go see how many forests are left. 2. Oh, 2. So many triggers. And now we're getting double from those things, and we get to do this again. A little unfortunate that I don't have the Harmonizer on the field, but this is good enough. I can't play out another thing. I do have... Did I put the other land in the graveyard? No, I think we're still okay. So how much damage do I actually have, though? Do I have enough damage? This is it. Maybe I misplayed this by not being able to put out the other Earthbender's Ascension. I don't think it matters. This is 23 points of damage. They can block some of it. I can take the action, but I failed to find, because I got all my lands out of my deck. They can block 6 of it, 23, they're dead. Wow, what a close game against the Uncle Iroh gift deck. We have a Greed's Gambit on our side of the field, but we were able to put so many lands onto the field, giving everything trample. I love this card. This card, yeah, is where it is. Well, I suppose I did do a lot of actions. I was messing around, so it's possible that our opponent just like got up and went to get a drink or go to the bathroom or something. But it also appears that we might be getting salty roped by our opponent, who successfully pulled off their Uncle Iroh Greed's Gambit play, but it was just a little bit too late, and now they're going to get hit by a Lumbering Worldwagon and a Forest, and that's gotta feel a little bit bad. Oh, it's going to make it go through all 3 timeouts. I don't think this behavior is very virtuous of Hyun over there. Have you ever roped a person like this? I'm curious. I personally haven't. Maybe not intentionally. I think I have Alt F4'd at times, or I have gone to the bathroom or whatever and accidentally roped. But have you ever purposely roped somebody where you see them like, oh, they got me, and you just decide, I'm gonna let the rope run down? I'm curious if you've ever done that. How many more? 2 more? 2 more. I was just thinking there, I wonder if we could actually slide in a couple of copies of Tifa. I imagine it would probably be pretty good in this deck, right? Okay, we have our turn 1 Llyanowar Elf into Lumbering Worldwagon, and then protection with our Snakeskin Veil. It seems a little bit weak, and especially if our Llyanowar Elf drops on turn 1, we're toast. I don't like this hand. Comment, let me know. Are you keeping this hand or are you throwing it away? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to take the risky keep here. But I don't feel good about this hand. We'll see if my suspicion was right and if I went against my suspicion or not. But I feel like this one might not be a keepable hand. Ooh, are we against mice? That's interesting. Now, we did get the Mightform Harmonizer, which we haven't seen too much of it hitting our hand. Oh, they're going to have sheltered? Oh, thank goodness. Okay, that's fine. Do some damage. I'm okay with the damage. This is actually just straight up mice. Oh, Ariana. I love it. So, this gives us our turn, our Mightform Harmonizer on the following turn. We're going to have quite a bit of damage going in on the opponent here. Ooh, Honor. Honor is such a cool card. It's a card. I actually tried playing a Boros deck recently with Honor, and you know what? It's good. It is definitely good. Dreadmaw's Ire. We're getting cooked here. Wow, the opponent had the exact answer they needed for our poor Lumbering Worldwagon. That is absolutely brutal. In this case, I think I kind of want to put out the Shaz's Chocobo and the Mightform Harmonizer. They're down to 2 cards. This is hopefully going to stop a little bit of the bleeding. And then if I can survive a few more turns with maybe one good draw, maybe I can make something happen. I don't have trample, though, on any of these creatures. I'm going to need to have the Paw Patch Recruit on the field, which the Paw Patch Recruit has not been impressing very much. I think it's definitely a flex spot, and it could be taken out. Okay, just a little unfortunate. Our opponent had kind of the nuts against us, and there was very little we could do there. So that was a great 11 cards from our opponent. They were the perfect puzzle pieces to be able to absolutely slap my face down and take me off of that little winning streak that we had. Okay, one more. Starvin Armin is our last opponent. Some of the names I go up against are just so great. Okay, this is the sketchiest looking hand, but I think with Icetill, Explorer, Harmonizer, and our Escape Tunnels, I think I'm willing to keep it. One little thing about the Paw Patch Recruit. The reason I put the Paw Patch Recruit in here was just to have another creature with trample. But maybe it should just be Tifa. 2 copies of Tifa. Tifa does have built-in trample as well. She's a great card to have on the field when we're putting out so many lands. I don't know. It's maybe seems a little bit lame because like this is a new version of Landfall that seems kind of neat. And if we just end up going so far into Tifa again, I don't know. Is it really what we want to be doing? Okay, land off the top is absolutely necessary. Helpful Hunter. We are against Honest Magic here. Starvin Marvin playing Savannah Lion, Helpful Hunter, a little bit of classic cats. And we do hit the land off the top. So that means that we're going to go out with the Earthbender's Ascension 100% of the time. Animate one of our lands. Why not? We're going to take a little bit of damage. It's fine. But we are out up to 4 mana now. And we have our... Oh, man, we went second. We went second against the cat deck. And we might actually be in a little bit of trouble here. Okay, 4 mana. What do we want to do with this 4 mana? Is it just Icetill? If I put out the Icetill, though, without the forest, I'm going to be going down a blocker. So I think probably what I want to do is just put the forest on the field. Put the Icetill on the field. Then the extra land is the Escape Tunnel. And then I'm going to... Do I need to do this now? I don't need to do it now. I can do it reactively. So we just have to survive one more turn. If we survive one more turn, next turn, we win. That's fine. If I have to, I'm going to be putting the forest in front of a lethal attacker. The Icetill has to explore. The Icetill has to live. The Icetill had to live. Now I'm not sure. Okay, this is not a lethal attack though. It's only 7 damage coming in, so I don't need to block. But it also doesn't hurt to block here. But I don't block. I don't use the Escape Tunnel. Okay. I see the line. I see the line. The line is Harmonizer. Do I put the Harmonizer in for 4? Probably. It's not enough damage, unfortunately. Right? It's going to be a lot of damage. It actually, maybe it is enough damage. They have 6 damage that they can mitigate. I don't think it's enough. I think we're getting an OTK here because we held the forest back and we held this land back. We do it. It's going to go up to 30. 30 points of damage out of nowhere. I'm sorry, Starvin Armin. Sorry to misname you as well. 30 points of trample damage coming in from a forest out of nowhere, even without the Icetill Explorer. Imagine, imagine we had the Icetill Explorer on the field. It would have been absolutely fantastic. It would have been so much more damage, but it's still enough damage to beat down some cats. But that's cool. You know what? That's an honest looking deck. Our deck is definitely is it a budget deck? This might just be like straight up cats intro deck stuff. So it is what it is, but they had a really good start. Cats, you can't count them out. All right, so the new Landfall deck is absolutely fantastic, and it is a heck of a good time to play. My feelings after doing a little bit more reps with the deck in those last 7 games is that Snakeskin Veil and Paw Patch Recruit are probably 2 cards that are very cuttable from this deck. Snakeskin Veil was in here to protect our stuff, but honestly, there were just no times to protect our stuff, and everything is a lethal attacker when we have Earthbender's Ascension on the field and a Mightform Harmonizer in hand. And when the opponent is spending so much time dealing with all of our threats that are on the field, they're just not going to have all the resources that they need. Therefore, we can just get in with whatever creature they weren't able to remove. So I'm not sure the Snakeskin Veil is really necessary in the main board. It's probably cuttable. Then the Paw Patch Recruit, I also found it to be quite awkward. I don't want to put it out for 1 because most of the time I'm going to be jamming Llyanowar Elf or Shaz's Chocobo on turn 1. They're just better cards to put on turn 1 in this style of deck. Then I'm going to wait until I put this out for 3 mana, but 3 mana is such a competitive spot. I want to put these things on the field. I want to be ramping. And it kind of leaves me in a situation where I don't really want to spend my time putting the Paw Patch Recruit on the field, which leads me to think that it might be better to have 2 copies of Tifa in the deck. I can't believe, but on a side note, I can't believe I've been conditioned into saying Tifa instead of Tifa. That commenter, all those months ago when I put out my last Landfall deck, actually got in my head and conditioned me to say Tifa, and you ruined like 20 years of saying Tifa. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But anyways, I think I would rather have Tifa in the deck because she works so well with Badgermole Cub. If we go turn 1 land, turn 1 land, Llyanowar Elf, turn 2 land, Badgermole Cub, that's going to leave us with 4 potential mana. The 2 mana goes to the Badgermole Cub and 2 more mana for the Tifa. With the Paw Patch Recruit, it's a little bit awkward because you can put it out for 1 or you can't put it out for 3. It just feels weird. You see what I'm saying, right? So probably having another 2-drop just in general is going to be better when you're playing Badgermole Cub. I think leaning into 2 CMC stuff with the Badgermole Cub is just better. So that's the change that I would make to the deck. Otherwise, this core feels fantastic. All of these cards do what they're meant to do, and I think they fit in the deck perfectly fine as 4 ofs. I don't want to change any of them. No notes. Perfect. Yeah, let me know what you think about the deck. Also, let me know if you end up going and trying some of the other decks. I know there's a Golgari version. I know there's another version that's also playing the Hydra. There are different variants of this deck that people are experimenting with, but I'm excited to see where Mightform Harmonizer ends up landing after some weeks of testing. This card feels so powerful, and because of the warp, because of Earthbender's Ascension, because of how easy it is to put lands onto the field right now in the format, man, does it get out of control so quickly. Anyways, that's it for this one. I hope you're still enjoying your holidays. I'm sure a lot of you are on holiday break. Hey, go back and watch some MTG or Avogy MTG videos that maybe you have missed, or some other creators. I've heard Other people like the Nostalgic Necro, one of my favorite. He was actually my second most watched channel on YouTube in 2025. So highly recommend going and checking out Nostalgic Necro. He's back making videos again. So go see that stuff. So you watch some MTG videos during your break if you're not spending that time with family and friends. Take care for now. Sarang e ipana, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.